Hello, I'm Adriana. Got a reading for you today with a channeled message from the divine. In order to really clear out my filter so that it's pure information for you, I have worked on my issues, on my personal stuff for the last 8 years, every single day, very intensively, in order to become a clearer channel for the higher energies. This reading is to help you get to a better place, to inspire you to take leadership when it comes to areas where you can have leadership, and to just help you bring more positive energy and more peace into your environment. So let's go ahead. If we could just align our energies real quickly. If you could imagine your energy just centering in your body. Whatever's going on doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be a certain way. Just if you could have that energy centered. Okay, let's go ahead and start. The world, the devil, and the elder of fire. Interesting. So we talked about leadership. Here's our leadership card. What is keeping you back from seeing the ways that you are complete? What is keeping you from understanding that you have walked away from patterns of self-sabotage, yet you keep looking back over your shoulder at them? You keep looking back, wanting to do them. And your particular devil, your particular pattern of self-sabotage, these days tends to have someone else's face on it. It's their fault, or they're making me do this, or this is, it's all coming from them. But the truth of the matter is that it's really not. The elder of fire is bringing the sun. She's bringing that clarity. She's bringing the light. And even though you've walked to this place of feeling much more whole, feeling much more together, for some reason, you still want to tear yourself down from this spot, from this place. What else is happening? And for some of you, this is really difficult. It's like you can see yourself doing it and you can't stop. And there's almost this sense of despair, which is very, very deep sadness, a very, very deep feeling like, why am I here? I can't get out. Why would I do this? It's more than just being sad, because sad is, this happened, I'm not happy about it. Despair is a repeated, like, telling yourself you shouldn't be here, or feeling shame because you're where you are. Okay, what's working for you? What's working against you right now? Okay, working for you, 10 of air and the 7 of fire. Exactly what we're talking about. And then what's working against you, please? All right, Hierophant and the 9 of air. Okay. Now, what's working for you is the 10 of air and the 7 of fire. There is a lot of energy. There are a lot of things that you have released. Back. You've given it, you've put it out of your energy field and you're done. These are obstacles that are sometimes self-attracted and self-created, but you've put an end to that. And so what this says to me is, you know how to do this. You can tell when you're going into places where you're making life harder for yourself. But the 10 of air, it feels like this big release, like you have fully come to terms with the fact that you're the one that does this. And knowing that gives you this feeling of relief, because you know that you're in control of whether this happens or not. So when you feel the obstacles, you know that you're creating them, and you have this power, this ability, the 10 of air, to stop them from happening and to just let go. And what is getting in your way, Hierophant and the 9 of air, is leaving behind tradition, leaving behind the old way of doing things, the comfortable way of doing things. and fearing, is it fearing getting kicked out of the tribe? It's funny. It's actually a fear of not knowing who you are. It's like if I stop putting these obstacles there for myself, I've been able to define myself by as someone who overcomes obstacles, someone who can navigate through anything and who can solve these problems. And if I take that away and there is no problem, then who am I? So there's a funny, well, it is a comedy. It's a cute kids movie called Nanny McPhee, and Emma Thompson is in it. It's like 10 years old or something, and it's similar to Mary Poppins. It's like a modern Mary Poppins. And she's this witch who comes in and teaches the kids in these very non-traditional magical ways. But when the kids get to a point where she's brought the whole family back together, the father is more emotionally present, and the kids are all getting along, it's time for her to go. And so she recognizes that she's only needed when there's a problem. She's only needed when there's dysfunction. And that's a little bit what's going on with you. You feel like you're only needed when there's a problem or where there's dysfunction. And so you tend to create these problems for yourself. And that's why you're afraid to let this go, and it kind of churns in your mind. And I want to say it starts in your mind. It starts in this subconscious place, or unconscious place, rather. Unconscious is a better word. And it's like it gets louder and louder and louder, and then all of a sudden it's right there in front of your face. But it is starting in your mind. It's not starting as a reaction or an estimation of the world around you. It's starting in your mind. So these are the word gremlins is coming in. You're making these gremlins for yourself. The next step forward on your path. What is the next step forward? Knight of Fire and the Justice. So you come to a point. You come up to a choice. You come up to, do I go left? Do I go right? Do I choose balance? Do I choose resolution? Do I choose the long path? Do I choose the short path? And what this spread is saying is, follow your heart. What is your heart wanting you to do here? Is your heart totally at peace or totally at home when you are sabotaging yourself, when your mind is going crazy? Is your heart really at peace there? Are you feeling excited about life? Are you feeling passionate about what's in front of you when your head is in that kind of a place? See, the Knight of Fire, the way I drew it, is closest to the red door. So he's closest, or she is closest to the door that resonates with the heart, with the passion. And so this is not just the cliche, like, follow your heart, do what your heart wants to do, and everything will work out. I mean, that's a different story. This is literally, how does this choice feel in your heart? How does the sabotage, how does the going back to these patterns of grinding thoughts and grinding illusion, how does that feel? How does your heart feel about that? Because when you're here, you're not here. When you're here, all of the energy is stuck here, and there's no energy going here. When you bring the energy here, it's like the clouds part and your mind is clear. And so let's say you get into your heart, you let go of these little bits that are in your way, these negative bits that are in your way. What does the future look like for you? Ace of Water, Ace of Air, and Eight of Fire. This is really exciting. I am so excited about this for you. Both of these are divine blessings, especially this Ace of Water. So literally the divine brings you a blessing. There's these wonderful hands holding how does this work? Yeah, holding the mermaid, and then she's holding the dove. So you're cradled in this moment of divine connection, and the divine brings you something that resonates with love. And we like to see that as the first start of a friendship or the first start of a heart connection. And the Ace of Air is a blessing too, because it gives you the clarity that this is the real divine connection. This is the real, we're tapped into the real source. We're tapped into the true source, because the divine that's holding this mermaid here, that is the source of love. And when you resonated with your heart in your next step, then the universe says, oh, they're ready to receive the piece of their heart. And the Ace of the Air being there is a really nice indicator that this is going to be a very clear sign to you, that you're going to feel this little breath of fresh air, this little nudge from the divine very strongly. So I laugh when it's about expecting the unexpected, because if you're expecting it, it's never going to be unexpected. This is more about looking for it, looking for that clear divine signal that someone or something is brought to you in just the perfect timing at the right time. And what's even more exciting is, look, you have the Eight of Fire, which is this is going to happen quickly. So the quicker you stay resonant with your heart, allowing that mind space to be clear rather than fettered or messed up with these self-sabotage patterns or these overthinking or over-creating of obstacles, the quicker this divine blessing comes to you. Okay, one more message coming to you from the higher guidance. Two of Fire, Six of Fire, Six of Water. That's a little bit of a different one. I'm not quite sure where this one's going, so. All right. Okay, where are we going with this? Starting with the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is reminding you that you have at your resources the chance to switch from one side. I see where we are. The chance to switch from one modality to the next, to get out of one thing to go to the other. Whatever you're feeling at any given moment, you can very quickly switch. And you need to remember that you have this ability, that when you get into a mood, you have the ability to switch out of it very quickly. And when you get into a place where you know you don't want to be, like the Seven of Fire or the Devil energy, you have the ability to get out of it very quickly. They're showing you the two choices here. Six of Water is the past. Six of Fire is very much the recognition for the present. And isn't it funny? Two sixes, and then the Two of Fire is the choice between two. So we have this ring of fire or this ring of little lights that aren't quite in focus. So it's like there's so many different ways you can go with this. You can go towards the recognition of your present, like, wait a second, what's happening in the present moment? What do I need to do right now? Or you can go to the past memory of, well, this is how it worked back then, so it's probably going to happen the same way now. So, that's good and bad, depends. If your past memory is programming you to expect the worst, that's not the best. If you're expecting to be sabotaged or you're expecting to be taken from, that's not the best. You want to stay more present in what is. Now, the other thing is, the Six of Fire is talking about the self. Like, here I am, here's what I've accomplished. The Six of Water is saying, let's go back into memory, which to me is let's go into intuition, because intuition is sometimes the future remembered. So it's like you have this choice between states. Fire is also about action. Water is about sensing or feeling. So if you find yourself taking action and you're just getting erratic, or you don't know where to go, it's undirected action, go back into the opposite. Go back into just being still and sensing, where do I need to be? On the other side, if you're lost in memory or lost in the past and you're not taking action to your future, go that way. So these are just a few examples of how this can work for you, but the main thing to remember is that you have the ability to quickly switch wherever you are. And it's important that you not forget this, because wherever you are, you can change it. If you don't like where you are, it's not feeling good, you can easily change it. All right, I want to thank you for joining me for this reading, and thank you to our guides. Thank you to the energy from the other side to give us this guidance, this help, and this clarity. I'll see you soon.